Ah. What? What's up, y'all?
Every time I think the beat gonna drop, it don't drop. I'm like, ready for the beat? Come on.
Here you go.
Hey.
We haven't used these mics in a while. Feels good, doesn't it?
Gotta get that bank head bounce. Come on.
Oh my goodness.
Hey.
What's up, y'all?
Hey.
It is
What
Wednesday
up,
night.
Madeline?
This is a special Wednesday because this is
Yes.
obviously Valentine's Day. And if you have not done anything yet today for your significant other, shame on you.
Really?
That's not shame on you?
Is it?
Shouldn't it be?
Not if you decide as, a couple.
That you're not going to
That
celebrate
you're not
it?
gonna celebrate.
I mean, yeah, I guess you could do that if you want to.
You never know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
What
Actually.
up, Primo?
So, Valentine's Day is interesting because I don't know. I think there are people out there that have different feelings about it. Maybe they don't. Obviously, my feeling is that I like it, but
I'm actually very surprised
that
to
used
hear
to not
that.
necessarily be the case.
I'm actually very surprised to hear you say
There was a
that.
long time that
Very long time.
I thought Valentine's Day was kind of like
You did, babe.
a waste of.
You were like,
Primo talking about it's Valentine's
wanna
Day.
ta-
How do you not know that?
they just want to
Primo's
take my money.
Primo's
You know?
a grouch and a Scrooge for everything, so that's not surprising that he doesn't know it's Valentine's Day. But
Listen,
you
he
know.
be faking, okay? He
Maybe.
be faking.
you're saying he's probably doing all kinds of stuff for
Doing
his
all
wife
kind
right
of
now.
stuff for Shalita.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't even want to hear it. What up, IG?
So Madeline is here and Primo is here. Who else is here? Come on in the chat, get in the comments, chimes, and do what you do.
Some people may be still, celebrating Valentine's
That's
Day.
actually true.
So-
I'm hoping
So
that
we may have a lot of people watching it later.
it is. First of all, for most of our audience, it's late enough that they should be back already from their Valentine's.
Yes, babe, but they might be back, but
Getting
they may
ready for
be
bed.
doing something else.
Oh, like we were going to be doing. Instead, we did the show.
Oh my goodness. You didn't have to say that.
So we did already celebrate our Valentine's tonight. We went to one of our favorite restaurants. Went to a different location this time for the first time. It's a restaurant called Planta. It's a vegan restaurant in D.C. There's one in
So
Bethesda we
good.
normally go to, but
So good.
this time we went to the D.C. location, and it was great. We enjoyed it. Great service. Very nice ambiance. The food's exactly the same, so that was great.
It's totally vegan.
I thought the company was amazing.
Oh, really?
I enjoyed that. Yeah, that was great.
And the people who were sitting mad close to us.
Well, those people, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about my wife. You know what I'm saying? That company.
When people sit really close to me at restaurants, I have to really focus on my conversation.
Because you're so nosy.
That is
You
not
can't-
it.
You're nosy.
How about
I don't
get
even hear the other
distracted?
people talking. I'm just so locked
I
into
can't-
you. I don't even know what they're talking about. You can't
I
not
have
hear
to-
their conversation.
That's not true. I had to think like, okay, I'm listening to this. You know what I mean? Like it's
you
not
can't
about.
not hear their conversation.
It was hard for me. Is anybody else like that? Like it was hard.
Are you nosy?
No, I'm not nosy. You are nosy. I am not nosy.
I don't know why you just can't
Yes,
tell the
Primo,
truth
we're
here.
going to Planta. We're taking y'all to Planta.
Yeah, definitely.
It
By the way,
is
Jackie Mitchell
so
says Happy
good.
Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to you,
Hey.
Jackie.
Yes.
Madeline asked, how's Claire doing? Wanted to ask you since last week. Claire's doing well. We actually saw her this weekend. Yeah.
Yes. So we were in Huntsville this weekend.
Yes. We went
And-
for pretty much everybody in our family's birthday is in February. My brother's on February 1st, my dad's February 2nd, and then our son is February 12th. So my mom threw dad a Super Bowl birthday party, and he turned 70. And so we all were celebrating that. And then that was on the 11th. The very next day was John's birthday, our son. So we hung out a little bit with him and stuff. Got him a nice Christmas gift, all that kind of Christmas birthday gift.
Like wow, that was kind of late.
we got him a camera for his birthday and everything.
Yeah,
and
it
so
was good.
I think it was
good.
very nice. Enjoyed ourselves. We're still recovering from that trip back though, because it
And
was a
we're
long
gonna
drive.
we're gonna post what we did that weekend, the big thing that we did. So
we
we'll post that
we
later.
did do something
We'll post that later so y'all
while
can
we
see
were
that
there.
later.
That's a good point. Yeah.
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 But yeah, so Garland is asking, anyone proposed during dinner? No one proposed. We didn't see anything like that.
No, we didn't see anything like that.
No.
No.
A
That's
lot
true.
of couples were out though.
Is Garland
Lot of
asking on
couples.
Instagram?
Yeah.
That's where he's okay.
A lot
yeah.
of couples were asking. We're out, and
There were a lot of couples.
It was a lot of couples. It was nice. It was actually nice to see all of these couples. They were like hugged up and talking, and
Yeah.
I could tell. Okay, I wasn't being nosy, but the people next to us, I
What?
could not help but hear what they were saying.
If you
How
have
not-
to qualify by saying I wasn't being nosy,
I wasn't. I couldn't help
you
it.
don't
I
ha-
didn't.
just say I can't help but be nosy.
It's not being nosy. Listen, it's about.
Were you in their conversation?
No, John. It's about my. What is it?
Baby, you were all in their conversation.
Somebody please tell me, what is it? What is it when you are...
Horace says I can listen and carry a convo. So
And I
he's
did
saying
too.
basically he's next level nosy.
No, I
he can be in that conversation and this one.
Yes, and that's basically what I did. But I do have to think a little bit. Like, I don't want to be in their conversation, but I did hear, and I put some things together. So let me tell you about the
Primo
people.
said she paused on the question, which means yes, she's nosy.
Well, let me tell you about the people that says, okay?
Okay, go ahead. Because I don't have a clue. Listen, I was sitting sitting right beside
So
her, or really right? Yeah, I was
they
just as close.
obviously just
and I have no
started
idea.
dating not that long ago,
Oh, you think so?
and he has a daughter.
Hold on.
John,
You are nosy. How did you find that? He has a
heard-
daughter?
I
have
heard
no-
this. He has a daughter, and he was talking about how the daughter, sleeps in the bed with him and comes and cuddles next to him and this, and she's so cute or whatever. And I heard the girlfriend say, I really like that she likes me, like she's, she's not having a problem with me coming into the picture. And I was like, oh, that's really
Wow.
nice.
I heard none of this. So, first of
I
all,
was literally almost touching arms with this lady.
Nah,
Okay, so
but here's what I want to know. Be honest.
thank you, Madeline. Just curious.
That's not,
Honestly,
no,
honestly.
she's way more than just curious.
No,
Hold on,
honestly,
hold on.
I
have a
couldn't
question.
help it.
I have a question. Was I talking during the time that you were listening to the other lady?
I don't think so.
So you don't even know.
I don't
That's
think
a
so. I mean,
shame.
I just hear these things. Yes, Madeline. It's because I didn't mean to hear it. Like
See?
it just
You
happened.
heard all that, April. That's what I'm talking about. Lovely Rose says
I
good
couldn't
night.
help it.
Good to see you, Lovely
Hey,
Rose. Glad
Lovely
that you're here. Happy
Rose.
Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Horace says you're either nosy or ADHD.
Maybe that's what it is.
I don't think she's ADHD.
I don't know.
She's just nosy.
No, I think no, because I don't want to be. I didn't want to be listening. I didn't want to be hearing it. I wasn't listening. I didn't want to hear it.
So it's like
I
it
just
takes
heard
over.
It. Yes.
Yeah, it just
Come on,
invades your
thank
ear
you.
space.
It does.
Okay, I
Thank
can
you.
get with that.
Yeah.
I also think you're nosy. I've been with you a long time. You be all in other people's stuff.
Oh my
Okay,
goodness.
so let me ask you this, April.
I do not
Since
be
you were
people's
looking around,
stuff.
I'm curious now to know what else you noticed. Okay, so I only noticed a couple things, but it wasn't a big deal. I was looking around actually when you left. So when you went to use the restroom, I was looking around to see
To be nosy, because you know you nosy.
whatever.
Go ahead and say it.
whatever. Fine.
Okay.
I know.
Because if you look at her, let me see what everybody else is doing.
I just want to see what the vibe was like. I wanted to
Okay.
see if people seem to be enjoying themselves. Sometimes we'll go to a restaurant and we'll notice everybody is like on their phones at their table. It's like they're not interacting with each other.
Yes.
I didn't see any of that tonight.
I didn't either.
I saw people looking in each other's
talking
eyes and talking and laughing. I didn't see
That's what I'm
anybody in a
saying,
bad
it was really
mood.
Nice. Same.
So there was one couple though that came in. They
I
sat
saw
two
them.
tables, maybe 3 tables down from us.
Yeah, I saw them.
They didn't look happy when they came in.
I saw that too. They might have had an argument in the car. Well,
It's
how did we
possible.
notice that?
I don't know.
Both noticed that.
I don't know.
I didn't say anything to you, but I noticed that too.
Right.
I was like, they don't seem like they like each
Yeah,
other.
right. This is like they really want
But
to
you
be
know
there.
what? There are times, and have you guys had this happen? There are times when we are, ready to enjoy a night together, and something happens that you didn't expect to happen that ruins the night.
Yes,
So I'm gonna confess that tonight my night was almost ruined.
almost. Mine too, actually.
Oh wow! So I wasn't just by myself.
No. We had a little spat in the car on the way.
Was it?
But
Was it a little? Okay, so whose fault was it? Who was the one starting the spats?
so I think it was my fault, but only because I know better.
What
So
does that mean?
so I reacted to something that happened
Mm-hmm.
in a way that is inappropriate on a day like today. That's supposed to be
Mm-hmm.
a good time and special and stuff like that. So and I know that.
Okay,
And
I'm glad. I thank you.
so
I
I'm not,
needed that.
right, but I wouldn't say I wouldn't say that I was at fault per se, except that I know that that's not a reaction that is acceptable on a day like today for you, for what you need on a day like today.
Okay. I mean, why can't you just say yes? It was my fault. I should not have been acting
don't-
like that.
Well, see, and that's
No,
always your
let me tell-
perspective.
no. Let me
That's-
tell you
That's
what-
always your perspective, but I don't necessarily always agree with
Let
that.
me tell you what it was for me. I feel like you were still at work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you were still interviewing people.
Yeah.
Like you had the tone.
and so-
you know what I mean?
So let me tell everybody what happened, and well, they might not. The guys might feel me, but so basically, what happened was on a normal Wednesday, there's a natural. Hey, hold on a second. Do you want to put that on here? That might not work because it doesn't turn sideways.
No,
That's not.
it's okay. I got it. I'm good.
How about this right here?
No, I'm good. Look.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
So on a normal Wednesday,
Mm-hmm.
right? We know we have to do the show. I'm explaining to the chimes now.
Yeah.
We know we have to do the show, and there are certain things that have to be done to prepare for the show. In other words, I have to have like my like this. I got to put this in. I have to actually put that in, right? We have music that we want to use, and of course tonight is a Valentine's Day special, so we've got some different music, you know what I'm saying, that's a little bit more, you know what I mean? Like I'll leave this playing in the background right while I'm talking. But my point is, my point is there were several little things that had to be done that normally I'm working from home on a Wednesday and I have time here and there between meetings if I'm doing Zoom or something like that. I have the ability to do that and I can carve it out. But today was a really long day. I had from 9 a.m. until about 4 o'clock. We were interviewing pastors basically, and it just took all day. I had no other time. And then we had our date night set for 5:30 tonight. We had to
drive all the way to DC, and it was like an hour and 10 minutes.
Exactly. Okay. We're actually a little bit late. We got there 5:40 because it was an hour and 10 minutes away. It's really only a 47-minute trip, but the traffic was crazy.
Be quiet, Primo.
So we'll get some comments in a second. So here's the point, though. So what happened was I asked April. So this is not normal. In a normal situation, if we're going into the city, I'm driving.
Not that I can't drive in the city, but
April could drive in the city, but
I drive very well in the
it's
city.
just normal that I'd be driving in that situation.
Right.
So I asked April, can you drive us so that I can finish all the stuff we have to do to prepare for the show? And so I will admit that made me feel like I was still in work mode. We weren't on date night mode yet, and I was a little bit on edge. And so a couple things that happened in the car, I reacted to naturally without thinking. And I know those reactions were a little bit too much in a situation like this where April wants it to feel like date night. So once we got to the actual place and I was done.
In the middle. I have to say this in the middle. I'm driving, right? You over there working on the thing. Do your thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm over here honking the horn because somebody trying to come over and he was talking about, you supposed to let them in. I was like, you're not even watching. You don't even realize that it was
I actually was watching right there.
It wasn't time to
You
merge.
weren't watching.
No, I was watching. That's why I was honked, because the person was coming over on me.
You honked all loud and long. It was unnecessary. Just
Wait,
press your brake and let them come over. They put their daggone blinker on. Let them come over.
No, I couldn't in that instance.
Yes, you could have.
Okay, first of all, why are you being a backseat driver?
I wasn't being a backseat
You
driver.
were.
I was trying to get the show done. And I'm here to have to hold the computer from flying. You know what I'm saying? She's slamming on the brakes. Because I'm like, oh, come on, man.
Guys. You know how sometimes you press the horn? You don't mean for it to go.
April laid on the horn. It sounded like Brooklyn. I was like, dang,
it was
man.
an accident, but I just felt like, you just go on and do your thing. Don't come over here telling me what. You didn't know how close that person was. Oh, first of all, I saw you look up. You were not watching the road because your face was in the computer. Okay. My point is, it's just that's how it started.
Okay, so tell me why the night wasn't ruined though.
Because once we got in, and it was really nice. Like,
once we got in, what?
You start being all lovey-dovey and smoochy-woochy. Okay,
exactly.
So
my whole demeanor changed.
It did. But I feel like, because I think I did a very good job, and I should be complimented, because I stayed quiet. Did I not?
There's no question you did a great job at that.
I really did. Y'all, usually I'll be like, why are you acting like that? Y'all, I did not do that. I said, you know what? I see that he is stressed right now. I know he's trying to get this done. I will give you credit for that.
That was excellent. You did do a great job.
I did that thinking about you.
Yeah. And
where you were in your stress level. I knew he wanted to get this done before we got to the restaurant.
Right.
So that you could relax. And I also knew that you just got off work. Like literally.
I literally came from work to pick you up to go to this date. You're right.
So I get it. But so that's why
I
managed. I controlled myself.
I will give you your props right now.
That's all I want.
Now, here's what's funny though.
Because things happen, I get it.
Yes.
But I want my props.
What's funny though is you're really good at letting me know how you feel without saying something.
I am.
So the energy shifted dramatically.
It did. And I actually wasn't doing it on purpose.
You can't help
just,
it.
Yeah.
Nothing you could do. Your mood changed.
Right.
It was obvious.
And guys, it's just true. Like, you're not trying to change the mood. You're not trying to, make it so that you can't enjoy the moment. I actually thought I did a good job too with not being mad at you in the way. Like,
I agree with you.
And it was very hard for me to answer your questions. Did you notice that? He was like, "What you asked me?" You say, "So did you?"
I was asking you about the show. Like, should I write it this way? Like, should I put it this way? And you were like, "Yeah, that sounds good."
Yeah, I did.
And
But
at
no,
first
it
I
was
was like,
something else.
oh, she
It
don't
was
want to
something
answer.
else like, did you respond to Julia or something like that? And I was like, no, I did not. Or, yes, I did. And I was like, and one of the things I didn't even answer. I said nothing. You
To what
asked
I
me,
said?
Yes, you asked me a question. I did not say a word.
I didn't respond after that?
No, you didn't.
Wow, I wonder what that means. Was I actually not listening?
No, I think.
Oh, okay.
Anyway. And you were a backseat driver again while we were driving, and I just let you say it, and I went on. I didn't say a word.
You deserve, listen, you deserve physical props tonight after the show. Oh, you're excited about that. Good.
Listen, I just want my props, okay? However they come.
You will get them.
Because I don't usually get props like that.
That's true. You did good.
And I usually have a hard time controlling myself, and I really did. I just stayed quiet. And
I also think I did an amazing job at saving it when I came to the table and started talking to you that way.
You did.
And
it
changed
John.
your mood immediately.
You did. And
Which is great.
And the way the seating was, he was supposed to sit across from me, and he asked the waiter. He was like, "Hey, can I sit over here?" Like
I was like right beside her instead of across from
That's
her.
not where it wasn't a 3-seater. It was 2, and he made it. Where he came.
It was like a bench that came around, and so I just sat on
right.
this.
And so
rest of
our
the bench.
legs were like all intertwined
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah,
So it was
yeah,
so
yeah,
nice. And
It
you
was
know
good.
what? But what that says is, all you have to do, honestly, is totally change it. Change your mood, fix it, and it will bring your partner back to where they need to be.
You can do that.
Sometimes you don't have to apologize.
Mm-hmm.
You can apologize with a behavior change.
Yes, I agree
right
with
away.
that.
Because
Yeah.
I felt that was I could tell.
We didn't want to necessarily have to have a big
And it
conversation
wasn't
to fix everything.
like an apology thing.
Right.
It wasn't necessarily something that you needed to apologize for.
Right.
But later I did want my props though.
Right.
And I was gonna get it whether we had the show or not. I was gonna be like, hey.
You might as well get him in front of the time.
I did good, didn't I,
Might as
babe?
well. You really did. That was excellent.
Really?
Yes.
Yes, because y'all usually I'm like, why are you acting like that?
Camille is supporting you, saying they were just loud, so you're not actually nosy. I still don't agree with that.
Exactly. No, they were. They were.
Pierre says, is there such a thing as selectively nosy? I don't think so.
That's what.
Lovely Rose says, yeah, it changes your mood, so she's agreeing with you.
Yes.
John, just go with it, brother, please. I don't know what he's talking about there, but he
about with me.
definitely likes the fact that we were arguing just now. And the horse talking about go to commercial. I would say the same thing, April. Yes, backseat driver.
Yes.
Whatever, man. Hey, Horace Jr., time for a wardrobe change.
my
Man, transition
goodness.
time between the end of workday and home is critical. Yeah, you must. Yeah, your mind must shift. Both parties
Yes.
need space to get in a new headspace. That's
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, apologize with behavior changes is way better.
Mm.
And Saba coming in with her
Well,
eyes.
I feel like,
I guess it depends on your apology language.
it does.
and it
but
depends on
also-
how bad the thing was.
But also, you can apologize and not change your behavior.
Correct, which is probably worse.
So it's almost like
That's probably worse.
Yeah, it's
like if you gonna
without
apologize, let's get
action,
something kind of action
I need
going.
some action to go along with
Right,
it.
right.
So
Yeah.
but that particular situation was not one that I needed. I'm really sorry for doing that. But if you had said I'm sorry, it would have been like fine.
Yeah,
but
you really didn't need all that.
no, I needed.
I
to do
actually
everything.
felt like, and this is one of those situations, right? So we both know what we're trying to do tonight. We both know this is Valentine's Day. We know this is a date night. We've been looking forward to this all week. It looked like it might not happen because something went late today, and then we got back on track. So we were back. So now we're both excited about this.
Yes.
So for us to take the time, 15, 20 minutes of our date night, to try to resolve an issue that wasn't really ever an issue in the first place. It was really no big deal. We know each other. We know what the deal is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think sometimes you really should at some point get to that point where everything is not something.
Right. Not everything has to be
Not
something.
everything is something.
That's true.
Sometimes you can just go on and
Yeah,
you don't
I
have to come
agree.
back to it.
Right.
Because you already know the circumstances. You knew what it was. You know the person didn't mean it. Sometimes you have to just give them the benefit of the doubt and go
Yeah.
and move on. Sometimes you can do that.
I agree. All right,
Yes.
so let's get to the show. Tonight, we're going to be talking about, all right, so how do we know whether or not our relationship is healthy? That's the topic, the title for tonight. And we thought Valentine's Day, the perfect time to talk about this, because the thing that we want to share with you all is basically 10 relationship check-in questions that you can ask to kind of find out where your relationship is. It's almost like a little health check,
So let me tell you what I think. I think that these relationship check-ins are very important. And the reason why I say that is because when I know we're going to have a check-in, I don't have to feel as stressed about figuring out when can we talk about this. When can I talk about the fact? Now, there's some things that you might have to talk about right then, like, oh, man, you know what I mean? Like, there may be some things you have to discuss right then because it happened right there. And,
Right.
you're like, why would you do that or
Right,
whatever,
right.
right? But there's some things that are behaviors that are happening again and again and again that you might need to have, like, a deeper conversation about. You know what I mean? Because it's not just like a one-time incident. So I feel like the behavior check-ins, not behavior check-ins, the relationship check-ins, I feel like you can say, okay, we know we're going to have one once a month or once a quarter or whatever you decide, once every 2 months. I know it's coming because we planned it for the last Sunday of the month,
Yes.
you know?
Right.
And so I'm going to take my notes, write in my journal so I know exactly my feelings about this. I think that's very important. So let me just give this illustration.
Okay.
When it comes to our regular health, right?
Yeah.
If you know you're healthy because the vital signs, all the blood work come back with the good numbers.
Yeah.
You are not going to then say, "Oh, good, now I can eat bad and not exercise," and because
Right.
if you do that, those numbers are going to change.
Right.
Well, I feel like it's the same way with your relationship. If you feel like your relationship's healthy, you're not going to now just be like, oh, now I don't have to do nothing.
You want to try to find a way to keep it healthy by continuing to check it.
Yes.
So like kind
Or-
of like Pop gets his blood pressure taken usually
morning.
every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're checking in to make
Right,
sure
right.
it's at the right levels. Well,
Right.
I mean, of course, we wouldn't check in every day.
Right.
But knowing that we're going to have a check-in,
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because then I know I can say,
Right.
I really like the way you do this, but I need to talk to you about this or that or the other.
Yeah.
But you can talk about the 10 relationship check-in questions.
So let's get to the
Okay.
questions in a second, but I want to ask you about the frequency because I want to know, do you think, because you just kind of suggested just now, do you think there is an amount of check-ins that feels too frequent? And do you feel like there's one that feels too infrequent? Like for you, I know everybody's going to have their thing, right? Let the couple decide for themselves
Right.
how often they want to check in.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think every day's too much and then once a year is too little? You know what I'm
Every
saying?
day is definitely too much. Once a year, too little.
Okay.
Okay,
So
that's-
where would you like to suggest
Well-
that people start in terms, like they can pick it for themselves, but
Yeah.
where do you think couples should basically try to get to in terms of how often they're checking in to make sure their relationship is healthy?
At first, I was like once a quarter. And the only reason why I said it is because I feel like I wouldn't want it to be like so frequent that I'm like, oh boy, here's another check-in. I got to be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they can be quick check-ins.
Right.
They can be quick. And
Right.
really, if you're doing this, it could be that everything's great.
Right.
And you don't have a whole lot to check, to say negatively, and it's a positive thing that you look forward to.
Yes.
It could be
Yes.
that. So
Yes.
I really do think it determines, it's based on the couple and the need.
I do too. And so here's what I would say. If a couple is closer to a crisis, I think they should do it more often.
Yeah.
So, when you're in the hospital, they check your vital signs like three times a day.
3 times. That's
It's
very
not just
true.
once.
It's not once.
Yeah,
You're
but
right.
they're
You're
constantly
right.
checking it. They have you
Yeah.
hooked up to something where the machine is beeping and all that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you're in a
Yeah.
relationship where you guys just came out of infidelity, or maybe you're like just having trust issues for some reason, or I don't know, maybe you're not married, maybe you broke up and got back together, or whatever. There's
Yeah.
different things like that.
Yeah.
I would say you probably need to check in a little bit more often.
Yeah.
Than
I think if something like that, like once a week, like every Friday,
Yeah.
we know we checking.
Yeah.
We're doing a check.
Exactly.
You could do that.
I-
And then
I'll-
if you're newly married, you might say once a month. We're
Right.
gonna,
Right. Right. Yes. And then I think once things start feeling like you got the hang of things and stuff like that, maybe once a quarter isn't too infrequent
I feel like once a quarter should be the max time.
in terms of like
How long
you
you're
shouldn't
waiting
go.
for the
You shouldn't wait once every
It
6
shouldn't be
months
two-
or once every
it
2
should be
years.
twice
once
a
every
year.
Okay. All right. You
I
think
don't
that's
think
too
so.
infrequent?
I do,
Okay.
personally.
Okay.
But again, we go back to couples choosing based on their situation.
Yes.
But
All right. So here's the thing. I think our chimes may already know how they would check in with each other, but we want to give you some ideas just in case. Here's
are we
10
checking
questions.
in right now? Are we doing a check-in?
I think we should check in on some of these. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Not all 10 necessarily, but some of these I think I'd like to hear what you have to say.
Okay,
You know what I'm
okay.
saying? So the first
Now
two
we
questions.
have not discussed y'all, so
No, we
I
haven't
don't know
discussed
what
any
he's
of
gonna
these.
say.
Yeah.
and-
Right. So the first two questions I think can get you sort of just complimenting each other in a good space. Don't jump right into the tough stuff. The first question would be, what am I doing now that you like? And then the question number 2 would be, what's one of your favorite traits about me? So take any one of those that you want. Either what am I doing now that you like, or what's one of your favorite traits, and you can answer that, and I'll do the same
I don't
thing.
think I would want to do the traits one because
You don't
it's a
want to do the
physical
traits
trait.
one?
No.
Oh, because it's not appropriate? Did y'all hear that?
I'm just
Y'all
kidding.
hear
I'm
that?
just
It's a
kidding.
physical trait. It's not appropriate to share online.
What am I doing now that you like? You want me to answer that?
If you want to
That's
do
the
that
you
one,
wanna know?
I don't care. I'm fine with the traits. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem with that. I'm going with a trait for you.
Okay,
I'm not going to do physical because I could do that, but I'm not going to do that.
I'm gonna
No,
go
I'm not gonna
ahead
do
with
that.
the.
No, no.
You don't want to?
Okay,
It's Valentine's Day.
you're right. We need music the whole time.
Yeah, use
You're right.
Valentine's. You want to, that's the
that
whole
mood.
point. That's what makes it
Yeah.
special.
Uh-huh.
Unless you don't want to. Whatever. Y'all tell us if you want to keep the music going.
Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, so.
One of your
this
favorite
is
traits of
okay.
mine. Was that what we're doing?
No.
Oh,
I'm doing
sorry.
What
am I doing
yeah.
now that you like? Okay.
I like that you are. I'm just gonna be specific. I love that you are sous chefing for me like every day. I absolutely love that.
Really?
Yes. I don't know. I feel like we connect during that time. A little different type of connection.
I agree with
that
that.
I really, really, really enjoy.
Yeah. I've
And
been
we're not
enjoying it too.
arguing
Right.
because you over there stirring the pot of soup that I'm making or whatever. Nothing
Right,
like that. But
right.
I don't know. I just feel like that's me and you. We're talking. It's like we're in sync. You grabbing the chives while I'm, you cutting up the chives while I'm.
Right.
And then guys, it's literally like we're in sync. As soon as I'm ready for the stuff, John's handing it to me. It's just like, it's beautiful. It's like, let me tell you something. I think that's a beautiful thing.
Do you think couples should cook together
I
more
do.
often?
If you cook. If you don't, you might.
Listen, you don't have
If
to
one
cook the
cooks
sous chef.
Yeah, you don't
That's
have to
the
cook
point.
the sous chef. But
Say, can you cut that?
John, I know some people who can't even cut.
Well, that's true.
Okay.
But most people can cut, babe. Come on.
I'm just saying. But if you can sous chef, and I sous chef for him when it's his night, and do you like that when I sous chef?
I actually do. It makes
Yeah.
it so much easier.
It makes it so much faster.
It's way faster.
And
Yeah, that's
you're
true.
connecting, you're talking.
Yeah.
You're not on your phones. There's no distraction.
Well, we both like food, so I think something happens to our mood automatically when we're in the kitchen together doing that. So I think,
That's true.
honestly, it's borderline sensual. I'm not going to lie.
I'm telling y'all. Y'all need to try that.
Yeah. Okay, so the attribute of yours that
Yeah.
I like, I say this all the time, it's actually your patience.
What?
You're a very patient person.
I am?
Yeah. I'm saying,
What?
I think you displayed it today in the car. I think that was a good display of your
I don't
patience.
think I've ever heard you say that.
That you're patient? Really?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Not as far as our relationship.
Well, let me keep going because maybe, okay. What I'm realizing is, and I think I came to this realization when I went on sabbatical. You guys know I had basically a real burnout situation where I just, man, I could have quit work for life right then.
I've never seen John like
it was
that.
bad.
I've never seen John like that.
So I went on sabbatical for 3 months, and I had this just protracted time of contemplation. And what I realized during that time was how much I put April through just because of my profession. I wouldn't do it on purpose. It's just the rigors of being a pastor's wife, of having to, get up early and leave church late and talk to members and like them and smile and
Like
making sure the kids. I mean, the kids are big now, but man, for years on Sabbaths, you were just the only person who was even taking care of them and making sure things were. Because I'm in a different space and I'm thinking about the sermon, all that kind of stuff, and I just think about that every so often. What I was touched with most during that time is being married to me is a lot, and I've never felt like you acted like it was. You never
Wow.
treated me. So I just feel like that's patience. I feel like you were always patient. Now, I'm not saying you were always perfectly patient with me, right? Or the kids. But I do think you've displayed that. And anyway, that's one of my favorite traits of yours? I'm surprised you've never heard me say that. I'm glad.
I appreciate that.
I want you to be surprised today with these
I
questions.
appreciate
Okay, so here's the point. The first two questions, you
That
done
set- it
now
kinda sets
set
the
the
mood.
tone.
Yeah.
You done set the mood now for
Yeah.
a great conversation. You know
So
what
now
I'm
I'm ready to listen to,
saying? The very next two questions
the
are
very next two questions or whatever.
a little meatier. So question number 3. So
Mm-hmm.
first of all, just to recap a little bit. Question number 1, what am I doing that you like? Question number 2, what's one of your favorite traits of mine?
Take
Okay.
notes, guys.
Yes.
Okay.
Question number 3 is, are we happy with the way we divide the household roles and responsibilities?
Y'all, that's a big one.
This is why I
Because
felt
some
like
people-
this is why I felt like quarterly was too infrequent, because I was thinking to myself,
Yeah.
what if you're the spouse, which by the way, I think most people will assume that the wives are the ones that are going to be saying the thing about the household duties, but what
Not
we
these
found
days.
these days, we have a
These
lot of
days.
couples that we deal with with a lot of stay-at-home dads.
A lot of
and
stay-at-home dads.
A lot of dads who are the primary cooks.
Yeah,
They're the
yeah.
ones taking care of the kids, all that
I
kind of
think
stuff.
we have to start in 2024. We really have to start putting away those
Stereotypes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's really like anybody
Yeah,
these days.
it really
It's
is.
anybody. We're
It
not.
really
We're
is.
not. It's not women. These are your thing, men.
True.
It's literally whatever the people decide, which
Right.
I think it should have been a long time ago.
So
But-
here's the thing about this question that's so good. If you're doing it frequently enough, the person who feels like they're on the hamster wheel of keeping the household all the time, I think can think to themselves, well, in a week we get to reassess this, or
True.
in a month we get to reassess this. You know what I'm saying? And so maybe it would
Yeah.
feel, and I don't know how you felt. Like, you've been through this, obviously, especially when I was going through my doctorate and all that kind of stuff, where you were basically the primary person doing almost everything in the house. Would you have felt great if we were doing this and maybe every other week we were having a conversation about whether or not you liked the way the household duties were divided?
Actually, not during your doctorate. Like having John.
Oh, okay.
our
Having the first child.
Oh,
Okay. That's when you wanted to have that conversation.
I would have wanted that every 2 days, every other day.
Right. So I think
Yeah.
that setting the frequency, I think when you
I
go
think
through
it's
the
based
questions,
on-
it's
yeah.
going to be based on what's going to give you the most relief. Because some of this stuff, what April basically shared with me, is some of this stuff is just the never-endingness of it.
Yes,
Makes you feel like in despair.
Yes, like you are. This job never ends.
Right.
And
Or
it
this
is-
task.
and or this
You know what I'm
task.
saying?
And
Like
it
making
is-
food
it
every
is a
day.
lot when you do it.
Right.
It's a lot to think about. It's a lot to prepare for.
Yeah.
So the fact that it's never ending could actually cause you some major stress.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it
I
could
agree.
put stress on the relationship, especially when you're the only one.
Right.
Like
Right.
you cook, but for somebody who I think like their spouse cannot cook at all.
Right.
Like that's not even an option.
Right.
I mean, it could be that they order out or whatever, but maybe you don't want to be spending money on ordering out. I mean, that may not be something, and the person's not really willing. You might have an issue
Yeah.
because it's really on you.
Of course. That's much harder.
Yeah, I guess the person can make sandwiches. You could always make a sandwich.
Or
You can always make a sandwich or some cereal. You can always do that. Yeah.
So are we happy with the way we divide the household roles and responsibilities? This is a relationship health sort of checkup. This is
Yeah.
a check-in to make sure everything's cool.
Yeah,
Are
and
we
these
good?
are things this is the everyday stuff.
Exactly.
Everyday stuff. Okay,
Right.
number 4. Are we happy with the frequency and quality of our sexual relationship?
Yeah. And now I would have said that this is stereotypically the one the man's going to be happy to ask. But again,
He
I
may
think
not
we
be,
find
What you mean
find
happy to ask? He may not be happy to ask that.
well, maybe not
Because
the
of the
quality
response,
as well.
man.
He might not get the right response too. That's a good
It
point.
might be that the quality ain't that great.
So this is basically
Either way, we're not doing stereotypes, baby.
You're right. Sorry.
We're not doing stereotypes.
So are we happy with the frequency and quality of our sexual relationship? Is it happening enough? And is it good when it happens? Those are the
Listen,
two things.
that
You know what I'm
could
saying?
be a whole. First of all, 10 is a lot.
That's why I said we I don't
You
want
might
you to
have
answer
to
all
break that
10
up.
right now.
No. I'm talking about even when you have.
Yes. Maybe you're just
check-in.
asking a few of
Maybe
these.
it could
Just
be
one or two, maybe three.
Maybe
I
it
don't
could
know.
be the check-in could be. Here are the questions. You pick 2, I pick 2.
Right. Right.
That you feel like we really need to
Yes.
talk about.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
but we're always going to start off with 1 and 2. Because
That
you
sets the
need to
tone.
put it sets the tone.
Yeah.
It sets the tone. But
Yeah.
the rest of them you can kind of choose, okay, we're going to pick 3.
All right, number 5.
Yeah.
How
Hey,
is our
well,
friendship?
Well, which one would you say? Well, I'll ask that at the end. So remind me. Which one would you say besides? I would just say the first one. Number 2 may not necessarily. What am I doing now that you like? I think that one has to stay.
I see what you're saying. Yes.
But there may be another one you feel like that has to. So at the end, I'm gonna ask you what
Which
other
question
one?
would have to stay for
Yes.
me? Okay.
Yes. What
All
question would
right.
have to stay? Yeah.
Number 5. How is our friendship? Are we happy with the quality of our emotional and intellectual intimacy?
Wow.
First
that's
of
a
all,
good
hold on.
one.
Have you
That's
ever
a good-
asked your spouse that question ever in your life?
Never even thought to ask that.
And see, when we say how was the friendship, I think most people might just think, do we have fun together? Are we watching TV together or something like that? But this question qualifies it further and says, like, are we happy with the quality of our emotional and intellectual intimacy? Those are questions. Let's answer that one right now.
Well-
How do you feel about that?
I feel that our friendship is really. I think that is the thing that we've always had from the beginning as a friendship.
Right.
Like BFF. Like
Right.
you my dog.
I
You know what
agree
I'm
with
saying?
that. Yeah.
Like so. Are we happy? I think the quality. I would say that the quality sometimes changes based on the situation because if you're stressed out, the quality of the friendship. Oh, let me just give an example for the people. So when we were living in the 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment for a year, our friendship kind of got a little shaky.
At first, that's true.
I mean, I was like annoyed when you like came around acting like you were acting.
How was I acting?
I don't know, man. You remember what I told you? You remember what I called you?
No.
I think this lasted, guys, for like, man, babe, this might have lasted for a couple months.
I don't remember at all what you called me.
I told you were a grouch.
Did you?
Yes.
I don't even remember that.
You're being a grouch.
Really?
But now that I look back on it later, I was like, oh, it's because we're all together all the time in this one little space.
Yeah, I don't think we had
I
enough
didn't know.
away time, really. We've always had a house that was large enough where all of us could retreat to our separate areas and be alone if we needed to be. And now that was literally gone. It was impossible to do. Julia would actually articulate this sometimes. Like, I need to go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? John would do the same thing. John would just take the car and say, hey, Dad, can I go?
just go?
Can I
And he
just
would just go
drive?
to the park. And
Yeah,
then he would
just park there.
And he would just go sit at the
Yeah.
park on top of the car and just study.
Right.
So I didn't get that, though. Like, I did not.
You didn't put those two together.
I didn't put those two together. And I'm like, why are you being such a grudge? You're like an old man. Like, what? And I would ask him, like, you trying to be an old man early in life? Like, what's happening? Like,
I literally don't remember you saying
you don't
that.
remember that?
No.
You probably blocked that out.
I may
'cause
have.
It was terrible.
Maybe.
Anyway, my point is,
You felt like our
that's when I felt like
our friendship was
friendship
in jeopardy
was in
at the time.
I don't think it was in jeopardy, but I think it was shaky.
Yeah.
was a
So I
shaky
feel
time.
the same way about
Because
you.
I like laughing and having
Yes,
fun. I
yes,
like there to
yes.
be. I am
Harmony.
I like harmony, guys,
Yes,
and I'm
yeah.
very chill.
Yeah.
So all of that was too much.
So I feel the same way you do about our friendship. I felt like that's the one thing that that comes most natural for us. Like you said, you're my ace. You know what I'm saying? And I it's always been that way because we have a lot of things in common that we like doing.
Right.
And so it's never been hard. I never felt like I had to work at that. But I definitely did feel that way during the time that we lived in the apartment. It felt like I had to work a little bit harder to not get on each other's nerves. You know what I'm saying?
All right. What's
Okay,
the next
number
one?
6. Do we feel securely attached to each other?
Can I just go back to 5? Sorry.
Yeah.
Are we happy? Quality, our emotional and intellectual intimacy. I would say too that I think that we all should be able to come home and talk to our spouse about our day. Because that's what I would do with my best friend. That's what I'm gonna do with my friend. When you're talking about friendships, I want to come home. I don't want to necessarily call my mom, or even though I do sometimes, but I don't always want to have to do that. I don't want to always have to call my sister, or I want to be able to tell my friend right here, I had a really rough day. I mean, that's what friends do. They listen when, or I had a great day. Man, this is one of the best work days I've had. And it doesn't necessarily have to be bringing work home, because sometimes you can bring work home and you talk about it all night long, about how you can't stand your boss, whatever. That's not what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about your partner asking you, how was your day?
Mm-hmm.
You do that a lot, and I love that.
Mhm.
You say, how was your day today,
Mhm.
man? We'll be talking about something. You're like, wait a minute. How was your day? Like, we haven't, I appreciate that because I'm able to share with you the good times at work and the bad or whatever. And that's a friend.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you think that a couple who struggles with telling each other about their day, do you think that means they're not friends?
No.
Okay.
I just think one of them needs that. That's all I'm
Probably.
saying. Okay, that's all I'm saying. And
Yeah.
I'm saying give it to them. But I also think that if it's something that stresses you out, because I remember a couple called us and the guy was like, man, it stressed me out. She comes home, she talks about work all night long. That's all she talks about is work. And they work together.
Right.
And so it was just too much for him.
Yeah.
And so we said, hey, give it a time limit. Hey, when you come home, we talk for 10 minutes and that's it. That we don't talk longer than that.
Right. Right.
So there are ways that I think you can do that too. Anyway.
All right. So number 6, do we feel securely attached to each other? How can we make sure we are each other's safe place?
That's a good one.
So, as far as being a safe place, does that mean that this is how I interpret that? And I want to know if this is how you interpret it. If I come to you in a moment of vulnerability and share something with you that obviously is something that's either really bothering me or something that I need help with or whatever, if you respond sort of by rejecting me, then I feel like you weren't a safe place for me. Like, is that what you think?
Oh, yes, it is.
Okay.
It is.
Because I want to know how you feel. Like, what do you think of when you hear that
so
question?
I should be able to come to you and know that you're not going to react in a way that puts me down or makes me feel bad about my feelings, whatever. Yeah, I definitely think that's good.
All right. Number
7.
7.
Is there anything I've stopped doing that you used to like? Ooh. Wow.
That's a good question. Is there
like
anything
that
I've
question.
stopped doing that you used to like? So, like, just as a joke, growing up, April said when they were growing up, whenever her mom would make something that was off the chain, like everybody loved it, and everybody started talking about how great it was, she would never make it again. I don't know why.
That was the family joke. Like, don't say you like it. Or you're not gonna get
we
it
can't
again.
say we like it that much. You know what I'm saying? Because she may not make it again. So I can't think of anything right now that you used to do that you don't do anymore that I liked that I want you to start doing again. I can't think of. Only thing that comes to mind is stuff you used to make food-wise, but we stopped eating some of that stuff because it had milk in it. Like, I used to love, there was this one thing where April made this gravy out of cream of mushroom soup, but it has mad milk in it.
Yeah.
So when we were 25, I could do it, and you know what I'm saying, but not
get
eat it no
vegan
more.
style, and you liked it.
That's true.
I did.
That's true, but it wasn't quite as good. It wasn't as that other one,
Yeah, it
full of
wasn't
all
quite as
that
good.
milk
That's
and junk.
true.
That's how I really wanted it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know if I can answer that question.
I can't either, but it's a
If I
good question
think about
to have.
that is a very good question.
It's
Okay,
one of the good ones.
Is there anything I
It's
do?
number 8.
Number 8. Is there anything that I do that you'd like me to change? Is
So
there
basically-
anything I do that you'd like me
So
to change?
number 7 is anything I used to do you want me to bring back, and then number 8 is
Is there anything I do that you
am I doing something now you want me to, you know what I'm saying, stop doing? You already know the answer to that one. I can tell right now you want to tell me.
What?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
You don't know. You don't even know what I'm talking about. You don't even know what I'm thinking.
I
I
don't.
can't think right now, but I will find something for that one. Because I think that's one that needs to be every week. I'm just kidding.
Okay,
Every
number
day.
9.
All
What's
right.
something specific I can do this week to help you feel loved and supported? That's a good one.
Oh, I like that.
Answer that.
What's something specific
What's something I can do this week?
week?
Yeah.
I think that you can. I don't know.
I'll tell you what I need.
What?
Not necessarily this week, but I need you to come on one of these long trips with me to one of these churches way out in the south.
Oh, I know.
That'll make me feel
I know
loved
you've
and
been wanting
supported.
me to do that.
April don't come to church with me no more, y'all. I mean, it's literally like she don't never come to
I
church with me no
have
more.
Julia. She wants to go to church, to her church that she likes.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm putting the child first in that situation.
I get it. I want to be foisted in though.
Aww. Okay,
I don't.
babe.
I'm not going anywhere this week though, so I don't need
And
that
I'm
one.
glad.
But you
I'm
know,
glad.
in a
I
couple
need
weeks
to
I will
find
need
something
it.
for that. What's something
You do.
specific? I need to find. I can't think right now. All right, number 10.
Last one.
I want to see what the chimes got to say. Do we have any fresh wounds that still need help resolving and healing?
That's a
Woo!
good one.
See, that's why I said you can't do all 10 because this can run for hours.
I agree.
You got to pick.
The idea is these are the questions that you can answer to get a relationship check-in to find out how we're doing, and some of these might uncover something big. I actually think number 10 could uncover something big, because here's why I say that.
True.
So sometimes we'll have something that happened, and whatever it is that happened, we don't want to make too much of it, or we don't want to dwell on it, or whatever. So we push it aside as if it wasn't that important. But sometimes it's a thing that represents something bigger that we've really been struggling with. And that opens up a fresh wound.
Yeah.
Something that's unresolved from the past that we have not fixed, but we don't want to deal with it because we know we don't have time right now, or kids are crying, or whatever the reason is.
Yeah.
I think this question can give you permission to reopen the case when the case you thought was
so that
closed.
means that the question that says, do you feel securely attached to each other? How can we make sure each other's safe? This is a safe space for each other, whatever.
Yes.
I think that's something that has to be practiced all the time, so that when you come to questions like, do we still have any fresh wounds? I mean, that still need to be,
Yes.
because I want to be able to talk to you about this and know that I'm not going to get fussed at, or, I'm not going to get you're not going to get an attitude because I'm still bringing up something or whatever. Because sometimes things might need to be brought up 2, 3, 4 times for the person who was hurt to be healed.
Yeah.
By the way, is there something that I want you to do to feel loved? I got it now.
What?
I want you to sit and watch reel after reel after reel with me that I think is hilarious.
So that actually happened. That actually happened last week sometime.
No, it didn't.
It did.
Not that. What happened was you watched something with me that normally you wouldn't watch.
Oh, that's what happened.
You watched the Grammys with me, all of it.
On your phone?
You put it on the
We
TV.
started on the phone, we on the TV. Right.
So
Yeah,
and then you went, like, after that, I want to go back. See, I'm the kind of person, I watch the Grammys, right? Then I want to go back and see I want to go see certain people over again, their performances or whatever. And he did all of that.
And sometimes you want to do like a deep dive into something
into an artist, like,
not just the artist, but like somebody said something, like Jay-Z said something in the thing at the Grammys, and then you might want to like look up the other stuff around what he said to find out what
He did all of that, y'all. He did all of
like
that.
YouTube and all that kind of jazz.
I
whatever.
was oh my goodness. But I want you to sit, and this goes with the friendship. I want you to sit and just laugh with me at all the corny. I mean, I like the reels that I send to my kids, and they're like, "It's not even funny," but it's funny to me. And me and my sister will literally die crying. I want you to do that with me.
I can do that.
Yay! Okay.
All right. So Primo said, what I was saying was that an apology via behavior change is much better than verbal apology. So he was kind of saying what you're saying earlier.
Okay.
D says, how often should we check in? I think we talked about that. We said we think once a year is too infrequent, and we think once a week or every day might be too frequent.
Yes.
So maybe find some happy medium, and it's got to be something that works really for your family.
I think once a month is good.
So Horace is saying weekly gripe sessions. No, that's not what we're encouraging.
No.
It's not really it. It's really strategically asking certain questions, like these 10 here, pick some, and trying to figure out whether or not there's something beneath the surface that you all need to discover and talk about.
Yeah, and what I like about these questions, it's not what do you like, what do you not like? What don't you like about me? It's very specific to, like, dividing the household, because that's something that you have to do every day together. You have to, so this is not about gripe sessions. It's not about arguing, and you go in knowing this is not about that. So I'm not going to come with an attitude. I'm not going to come with my list of things I don't like about you. That's not what this is. And when I like John, I don't have nothing to say that's bad. You know what I mean? Like, I got to find it, Let me be mad at him, and then I can have all kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's not always going to be a gripe session.
So Camille agreed with us. She said it depends on what's going on as well at the stage. Weekly may be necessary, but monthly check for maintenance.
Exactly.
Horace is laughing, saying this is an adult show because, as Johanna says, cooking together is a vibe.
Yes, it is.
We agree.
Yes.
And she says she hates cooking, but she loves cooking with her husband.
Right, exactly.
But you don't hate cooking, do you?
No, but when you're there, I don't feel as burdened. You know what I mean? Like, I don't always
it
feel
turns
burdened,
into
but like
it
if I'm
turns into like a date
tired,
event as
it
opposed
does.
to
Right.
like
Because
a
if I'm
drudgery.
exhausted from the day and I'm
Right.
like, oh man, I gotta go cook. But then
Right.
you're there to do all the tedious stuff.
Yes, right.
And we're vibing and
Right.
we're talking. And
Right. Yeah.
You coming behind me and stuff,
Jackie Mitchell says, love language, spending time together doing something. Yes. Deidre says, peace, family. Happy Valentine's Day.
Hey,
Happy Valentine's Day, Deidre. She might not even here anymore.
I know.
But happy Valentine's Day to you. Like them. I don't know what you're talking about there, Horace. I should have. That's why, sometimes when we ignore
But
you know what I'm saying?
You have to just skip over those. When
You're
you
right.
don't know.
A wife who knows how to be supportive of a man's career is a shero. That's definitely true.
Yes.
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 Need to post the questions I'm driving. That's what Horace said.
We'll post them.
We will. Madeline says, actually, that is one of my traits for Dale, that he's very patient with me.
Dale is a patient person.
Ego says, great background. I don't know if you're talking about the music.
He's
or
talking
you're
about New
our
York.
actual- you know what I'm saying? I
You
agree.
know he loves New York background.
Her wheels are spinning, John, for number 8. Number 8, that was, is there anything you'd like me to change? Right, yeah. Living for him, love you too. From your
Hey.
boy, CJ Cousins. Hey, what's up, man? Oh, I
Hey.
wouldn't have known that was you, CJ.
How you doing?
Except your picture looks exactly like you. But, I didn't realize. Is anybody asking questions on Instagram?
No, I don't
Maybe?
think so.
Maybe some kind of comments on there?
I think I said the comments already.
All right, so now it's time for our Team John or Team April to end the
Someone's
show.
asking if we can post the questions.
Yeah,
So
we can definitely
we will
do
do
that.
that.
Yeah, because these are good. You know what, babe?
And somebody
I
said
text this to you?
sincerity is key.
I'm gonna copy it right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna text it to you, and then you can actually copy and paste it to the Instagram.
Oh, thanks, Swerve. Love y'all's vibe and chemistry. Thanks a lot. Somebody said
just
you
sent it to you just
used the boss. Shaka Zulu. I am chief voice and forgot to turn it off. Dude, been there. Oh, that's Garland.
Oh. Garland Stillwell is hilarious. This dude,
Yes.
he's one of our Instagram followers. He be sending me all these reels all the time.
His
and
reels
they're
are hilarious,
literally
too.
And we repost them often. You know what I'm saying? So stuff y'all be seeing.
Garland
that's
is
funny.
an IG chime.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if we don't get any Team Johns or Team Aprils tonight, then that will let me know that I actually won.
Why?
I don't know.
What kind of
Automatically,
if
I
there
should
are
get-
none,
yeah,
you
yeah.
won?
The tie goes
Okay.
to the runner, so that's me.
I'll
Since
go ahead
I'm the one.
and let you have that since you haven't won in so long.
It's true. It's been a minute. So I hope you guys had a good Valentine's Day, and that this gave you an excuse to go on a date night, to pay attention to your relationship. I think it is possible to get upset because there's another special day that you have to spend money on. But why look at it that way? You have literally no reason to not do something with each
Yeah.
other. It's a perfect opportunity.
Even
Use
if it's
it.
have a movie night at the house,
Yeah.
because you don't really do that a lot during
Yeah.
the week or whatever.
Right.
I think it's nice to look forward to it too.
I agree.
Jackie
Mitchell says Team Nixon, by the way. So
Aw.
that's definitely for me because you just became a Nixon
Wow.
23 years ago.
Wow.
Camille Beckford says, beautiful show, Team April.
Thank you, Camille.
So as usual, I'm going to lose, as always. You know what I'm saying? Why do I always lose at this?
Oh, I don't know, babe.
I don't know.
Oh, are you feeling some kind of
No,
way?
I don't care at all, actually.
I'm Team John.
I know. I'm
But
good
I
Team
like
April
winning.
tonight.
Oh my
man.
goodness. Love y'all.
Hey, y'all. We've been on here way longer than we actually wanted to be because
Really? It's 10
yeah.
o'clock.
No.
It's a regular time. What you talking about?
We wanted to skip the show and just go
Oh.
upstairs today.
You want to skip the show altogether? Let me tell y'all, I was so sleepy.
Yeah.
Y'all, I slept all the way home from Planta. Like I couldn't.
She
John
did.
was talking
She
to me. And I
leaned
was
her
literally
seat
like,
back
I was
and went
literally
to
like,
sleep. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what happened. Look at Primo.
Madeline
Why you
says,
got to do that
Ma-
twice,
Ma-
Primo?
Madeline says, John, you actually done right with April. Team John. Happy Valentine's, guys.
Oh, Madeline.
Thank you, Madeline.
John,
That
I
was
think
nice.
you won tonight because Primo gave you 3
Primo talking about got your back. Team John. Team John. And Jackie says it was for you both. I know. I was just kidding, Jackie. I know it's for you both. And then I got another Team John
Babe.
from Primo.
All right,
And then
babe.
another one. The funny thing is they don't look any different because it's the same exact thing each time I click it. You don't even know that I'm clicking something different. You know what I'm saying?
You can win tonight. Oh my goodness, Primo, you are a mess. Okay, you're hilarious.
Oh man.
All right, you won tonight, babe.
Yeah, sucker.
You won tonight.
Well, I'll really win later. All right.
Oh my
so,
goodness. He's still posting Team John. So stupid.
next week, I don't know what the show's gonna be about, but we'll see y'all here.
Yeah, so be ready.
9 o'clock Eastern time.
Y'all come on ready
Just
to
out of
chime
April.
on in.
Come on in. And enjoy the rest of your night. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of your Valentine's Day. Go ahead and really enjoy it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
by going to bed.
No. You can go to bed afterwards.
Let's go, April. Come on, Madeline. Come on. Hey.
Goodness.
Uh.
All right, y'all. See you next week.